Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Sandy Smith. 2026 marks 125 years of dedicated service by the Australian Army and its predecessors. Today, we remember and pay tribute to Captain Samuel William Harry and warmly welcome his family who are in attendance today. Captain Harry's story will be told shortly by Lieutenant Colonel Luke Holloway from the Australian Army, who is a member of Captain Harry's family. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by family, visitors to the memorial, and students on behalf of Urramanga State School visiting from Queensland. If you're able, I now invite you to please stand and join in singing the national anthem.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is got by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
For those who are able, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament. Flowers of the forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Captain Samuel William Harry. Sam Harry was born in the United States of America on the 9th of February 1882. His parents, Samuel and Sarah Hannah Harry, were born in England, as were all of Sam's siblings. In 1888, the family emigrated to Charters Towers, Queensland. Sam Harry was educated at the Boys Central State School and went on to work as a clerk in a series of banks. When he was 28 years old, he was appointed to the position of town clerk in Charters Towers. Sam Harry was interested in the military long before the First World War began and became a member of the Rifle Company of the Kennedy Regiment based in Charters Towers. When war broke out in 1914, he had attained the rank of captain, and the Kennedy Regiment was hastily sent to protect the far north of Queensland. From there, they went to Thursday Island, contributing half their strength to the Australian Naval and Military Expeditionary Force in New Guinea. Harry, however, did not join that force, but instead returned to Charters Towers, where he was granted a commission in the Australian Imperial Force. Captain Sam Harry left Australia for active service overseas with the 15th Battalion on the 22nd of December 1914. He was first sent to Egypt to continue training in the desert, and by early April, the OAF began to move on from Egypt to the island of Lemnos in preparation for the landing on Gallipoli. On the 15th of April 1915, Captain Sam Harry wrote a letter to the Mayor of Charters Towers to say, "We are afloat once again and have now arrived at that important point in our military career where we will soon know what stuff the Australian soldier is made of and what our leadership for the last 6 months is worth. At the moment of writing, we are at anchor at the island of Lemnos, awaiting the concentration of the force, which is to invade the Gallipoli Peninsula, which is within a few hours steaming from here. I have never for an instant regretted coming away. It is hard to conceive how any young single man, suitable as I was, could have remained at home in safety and comfort at a time like this, and keep the respect of himself and his town. Correspondence for an indefinite time ahead will probably cease." It was the last letter Captain Sam Harry would write to the Town Council of Charters Towers. The 15th Battalion landed on Gallipoli late in the afternoon of the 25th of April 1915 and were sent to the heights above the beach to reinforce the thinly held line. Within weeks, Captain Sam Harry had been reported missing, possibly wounded. Second Lieutenant William Twinman of the 15th Battalion reported that at about 11:50 p.m. on the 9th of May, during the action in front of Quinn's Post, I went out with Lieutenant Harry towards the Turkish trenches in order to distribute our men. We were under hot fire. While giving directions and while close to me, Lieutenant Harry was hit, crumpled up and fell. I got a man to assist in taking Lieutenant Harry back to our own trenches. While doing so, he was wounded. Lieutenant Harry was left about 25 yards from our own trenches. I got 3 men to go out with me again and started to bring him in. I tried his pulse and heart. To all appearances, he was then dead, and so, seeing that further effort was useless and that there was much other work to do, we left him. In Charters Towers, Sam Harry's death was widely mourned. The Evening Telegraph reported, "It is sad that such a young, promising officer should lose his life at the beginning of the campaign, but even then his services were recognised on the battlefield. Had he lived and had the opportunities, he would have made a name for himself." Today, Captain Samuel Harry has no known grave. He is commemorated on the Lone Pine Memorial not far from where he fell. He was 33 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, among almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Captain Samuel William Harry, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of our director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.